Hi everyone and welcome back, and this is the demo part of the previous video where we were talking about Prisma with MongoDB database. So we created a simple collection. If you have seen, we just created a simple Prisma schema and we have written a simple APIs for it. So while I was trying the demo, I was trying to set up the local database and all those things. With Prisma, I mean, I have already struggled a lot in connecting with the local database. So I will advise that you can use MongoDB Atlas cluster from the MongoDB, and you can configure that. Okay, like cloud.mongodb.com. There you can create a database, which is first database is free, and you can set up that because when you are trying to set up a local database, it's not like you are using Mongoose, which will allow you to connect to the database even without username and password. Here, I did struggle a lot in setting up a local MongoDB to connect with Prisma because Prisma has a lot of constraint that you need to have a replica seat configured and a lot of other things, right? And I ended up, okay, I'm not connecting through the local database, which I'm spinning up on the container, and I switch to this MongoDB cloud. Here you can create a database. Okay, it will give you all the database, like you can just create a simple database. This is a simple cluster, and here you can get the connect options. From the connect, you can just check connect your application through the code. You can test it here if everything is working. And if you want to connect to the shell, then you can use this mongoose as a shell. You can install this as a brew package and then test it. The one important thing which you should not forget is adding your IP in the whitelist. Here you can do is add your IP address, otherwise nothing will work, right? Or you can just say is allow access from anywhere. In that particular case, you don't need to whitelist your IP. So here is my database. If I just look into the collections, then here I can find all the collections I have. Like this is my first database and this is the user collection, right? Because I hit the user create API. Before that, I spent hours to just figure this out. Then I am started using this. So what we need to do? We can have a simple demo, like this is the auth controller. Okay, this is our application running. Here we have auth controller. There we are doing user create, simple user create using simple register API. Then we have a login. First, let's try the register API. Okay, here I'm doing register. Let's change the email. Okay, and it will say user created. Now it is connecting to the remote MongoDB database. I will also explain what is there in the connection string. Like now my connection string looks like this. Okay, MongoDB SRV because we are using remote, username, password, the cluster information, and your database name, retry writes, because this is required in the MongoDB connection string when you are connecting with uh, you through Prisma. Okay, this is my connection string. So here this is my username, password, this is your cluster, this is your first database you wanted to set up, right? And here I have created this user. Now I can also log in. I think for login what we need is simple username, password, email and password. Okay, so I will provide that. Okay, I need to change the API, that is auth login, I think, that I can get from the controller. Auth routes, that is login. It is also post, and it is checking, and now it has returned with the access token. Now if you see the headers, inside headers, okay, there is a cookies, right? Here it is also returning the refresh token cookie. Okay, this is important part because when you want to get another access token, you will ask, once the token gets expired, then you will pass the, you will request using request refresh token API, and it will take your cookies, refresh token cookies, to generate the new access token for you. I mean, that is just a way to keep generating the access token once they get expired. You keep passing this inside your headers, and we validate this cookies data, cookies token, and then generate a new access token for you. So this is how it is working. This is just a simple demo. Okay, how we are connecting to the MongoDB database. I think the most tricky part is configuring the database and getting this connection URL. Rest all the things is it's just a CRUD. Now we can also take a look onto an example where we are defining the relationships, like how we can associate one schema, MongoDB models to another model, right? Because in the relational database, we have already seen that through the Postgres and Prisma. Here also we need to define the relationships, like user can have a posts can have multiple comments, that we will see in the coming up videos. But this is just a demo, like how you can connect to the cluster. And you can see when I try to look into this, here I should see the different users now. Because there I have inserted another user, so there are two records, and these are just a sample data which will be generated when you are creating a new database. Okay, so this is all about the demo about MongoDB. Now we can talk about Prisma with Nest.js. Okay, that's I'm going to cover in the coming up video. Thanks everyone.